Top of page 5, paragraph 43. What happened next would haunt Lester's friends for the rest of their lives. Lester was floating on his back when, seemingly out of nowhere, the shark exploded out of the water, its enormous jaws wide open. His friends stared in shock as the beast snatched Lester by the arm and pulled him underwater. There was nothing for his terrified friends to do but run and get help. They sprinted into town, soaking wet and sobbing. "A shark's got Lester," they cried. "A shark's got Lester." The townspeople who saw the hysterical boy knew that something horrific had happened to young Lester Stillwell. Soon, dozens of people were at the dock where the boys had been swimming, shouting for Lester. It couldn't really be a shark, could it? In the swirl of fear and confusion, one terrible fact could not be denied. Lester Stillwell was gone. Shattered afternoon. Meanwhile, only 1.5 miles down the creek, Joe, Michael, and Jerry had just started their swim. They had no idea what was happening up the creek. It wasn't until the shouts of warning shattered their joyful afternoon that they had any idea that they were in danger. And by then, of course, it was too late. The shark grabbed hold of Joseph Dunn, ready to take its third victim of the day. But as the shark pulled Joe under the water, Michael and Jerry dove into the creek. They grabbed hold of Joe's arm and tried to wrestle him out of the shark's jaws. It seemed hopeless. The shark was too strong. But then a sputtering motorboat appeared. It was Captain Cottrell and 2 other men. Those men jumped into the water to help and were soon part of the terrible match of tug-of-war with the shark. Joseph, numb with shock, was sure he'd be ripped in two. But suddenly the shark opened its jaws. Joe was free. Michael and the men pulled Joe up to the dock and then gently placed him into Captain Cottrell's boat. Joe was alive, although his leg horribly mangled and bleeding heavily. In between paragraph 52 and paragraph 53, I see 3 little stars. They're called asterisks. These mean that time passes. So I know as I begin paragraph 53, time is going to have passed. The deaths of Charles Bruder and Charles Van Sant were horrifying, but the Matawan attacks in a creek 15 miles from shore sent waves of shock around the world. By the next day, America went to war against sharks. Fishermen charged out to sea, ready to kill any shark on sight. In Matawan, Lester Stillwell's body was finally recovered from the creek. People vowed revenge on the monster that had killed him. Flip the page. Top of page 6, paragraph 54. The shark-killing frenzy would have continued, but on July 14th, a man named Michael Schlesser killed a great white shark in Raritan Bay near Matawan Creek. He hauled the shark to shore and sliced open its stomach. Inside were 15 pounds of flesh and bones that seemed to belong to a human. Today, the shark attacks of 1916 have not been forgotten. In fact, many questions remain about what really happened during those 12 days of terror. Was Schlesser's shark attack really the killer? Was it a great white or a bull shark? Was it one shark or several that committed the attacks? If it was one shark, what caused it to take to humans with such unnatural ferocity? Scientists continue to study this unusual and horrific event. One thing is certain, though. For the Dunn family, that summer of 1916 ended on a joyful note. Joseph Dunn survived. He lived into old age, and he hardly ever talked about his experiences of the summer of 1916. But those who knew Joseph Dunn said he always considered himself a lucky man. After all, he alone had escaped from the jaws of the New Jersey man-eater. Right now, flip to your packet. Work super hard on questions 1 and 2 for your air portion. Make sure you're working to get that bandage wrap for your survivor kit. You might need it for the sharks. Dun dun dun.